What is going on, fellas? Viper here and welcome to another new video on the channel. Today is our last formation in the formation guide for season 1 of this series. Thank you guys so much for the support on said series. It's gone down really well. I've had so many positive comments that I explain the tactics very well. And I explain the way the players set up in the formation very well as well. So thank you guys for tuning into this series every single day I upload a video on it. Basically, the idea is I'll give it like 4 or 5 days from now. We'll revisit every formation again and have a look at how things are changing, because this game does get patched a lot, and that in turn does mean the tactics do get changed a fair amount. But guys, I really want to say thank you for all the support on the channel. The channel is growing at a crazy rate. I'm very grateful for all of the support. But with that being said, today's formation is the 4-3-3 and all of its variations. What we are going to do is we're going to look at all of the 5 variations of the 4-3-3. I'm going to go over a few briefly because some of them are not very good. So guys, starting with the 4-3-3 flat. This is a good formation, probably the second best in the variations we have here. The reason this one's good is you've got a flat 3 in midfield and you've got a 3 in attack. What this offers is, you can overload a midfield quite easily. And the 3 attackers are still, a lot of people prefer to have 4 attackers. But having the 3 in midfield is kind of the equalizer to this, because you can overload basically any team. Any teams in a 4-4-2, a 4-2-3-1, you will be able to create the overload in midfield and win the midfield battle easier. Just because you have the extra man there. So you have a bit more support there. Obviously, I wouldn't use Yedda here. This is just the example. Obviously, only having 3 attackers is not my favourite. But if you know how to use this formation, stay wide on the 2 wide players. This is a great formation. Stay back on the middle centre mid. This is a great formation. Not my favourite personally. You can probably tell by the fact that we've got 4 attackers which formation we are going to be using. Moving on to this one. The 4-3-3-2. I think this is the worst one. Unfortunately so as well, because the way this sets up is with the CDM. This is the way most, good football teams in real life play in a 4-3-3. With the pivot and the 2 centre mids kind of advancing, allowing the pivot to just drop deep and, spread the play. It doesn't work on this game, unfortunately. So that one is not very good. The worst one, for sure, the one with the 2 CDMs, it just isn't good. It's too defensive, and having the centre mid instead of the cam that you'd have in a 4-2-3-1 just doesn't work. So this is one I would highly avoid if I was you. Now, moving on to another one of the best ones. So we've covered the 4-3-3 flat so far. Now we're covering the 4-3-3-5 or the false 9. Formation that gets used a fair amount in real life. Used to get used by Spain an awful lot when they were very good. What you get with this formation is the false 9 drops a bit deeper, so your wingers are more advanced than the centre forward here. And the most important thing I can tell you for this formation, even though I haven't really used it too extensively, I have used it once or twice in draft. I did find it to be really good. What you're getting with the false 9 is the ability, you've got to make sure that you have a good passer here, okay? I think somebody like Neymar or Messi in the centre forward role here would be brilliant. I think they would offer so much to the team, just because of how good their passing is. They can pass on both feet and really help out the wingers, who are the most important players, to get involved in the game here. With the CDM as well, and the 2 centre mids, it's very good. A lot of people don't like the 1 CDM formations, but this is kind of an exception to this. You've probably got the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow and the 4-3-3-5, which are really good with just the 1 CDM. Not my favourite though, by any stretch. My favourite by a country mile and the best player in game is the 4-3-3-4. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch back to the 4-4-2 so we can actually look at the custom tactics. So let me reset this up real quick. What have I done there? Ben Yedda up there, Ronaldo down there, Bamba over there. So the way this sets up in game, so we're playing balanced, 50 width, 60 depth. As I've explained all through this series, I like playing with a higher line. Obviously, you've got to trust your centre-backs. Your centre-backs have got to be very, very fast, very reliable to get away with higher depth. Width is always on 50 for me. I'm on the defensive side, just because you don't want to be too compact and allow the wings to get destroyed. You don't want to be too wide either and get rid of the compactness of your actual defence when defending through the middle. So 50 is the best for that. In terms of the 60 depth, as I've already said, it's very important that you have quick centre halves to be able to play like this. This is more for players that want to dominate the game higher up the park. So if you can get this to work, you're going to win the ball higher up the pitch. You are susceptible to over-the-top balls quite a lot though. So this is why you have to have fast centre-backs. In terms of the balance as well, because of the way this is going to set up in transition, we don't really want to play any pressure tactics here. Reason being is when we're transitioning here, it's not really through the middle formation this. So you have to kind of switch it between your fullbacks, look for your wide options, see if they're available, and allow the two centre mids that you have to kind of connect the play. So fullback to centre mid to wide player, whether that be complete diagonal, so right back to right centre mid to left winger, or left back, left centre mid to right winger. Basically, you could do diagonals with this quite nicely, which is nice because that will confuse opponents quite a lot. I feel like I did say left or right wing twice there. What I meant was right back to right centre mid to left wing, left back to left centre mid to right wing. Now, with that being said, that is the kind of way we're setting up here. We're not gonna be too aggressive in terms of the pressure tactic. We don't want to destroy our shape defensively in this formation because we are trusting our back line only really to help us out here. We do have instructions set to help out the back line with our midfield, but our back line is going to be exposed a little bit when defending or getting hit on the break. So that is why we've set up like this and no pressure tactic for this formation. Moving on to the build-up play now. We've got long ball. This is also for the wing back into the right winger or left winger. This is really, really good to kind of create that long space to where the wingers are like on the fullbacks. And when they're on the fullbacks, you can obviously trigger a run with L1 or LB to get them to kind of break past the fullback. And then you can play a ball over the top, which is really overpowered on the game right now. A really, really good tactic to get in behind easily. But obviously the thing you need to remember, to be able to do this, you're going to need good passing fullbacks. And that is the biggest thing if you do want to play this formation. Your fullbacks are going to be involved quite a lot, and they need to be good at passing. So engines on your fullbacks are quite useful here. I don't know if you guys have tried engine on your fullbacks, but it's quite good, to be fair. Something that I quite enjoy using on my fullbacks this year. And this will help you, to be able to trust the balls over the top that your fullbacks are going to be playing quite a lot in this formation. In terms of the chance creation, I've got this on balance for this one, just so we can, there is a balance there where you don't really want forward runs on this formation because you've only got one striker. Direct passing could work quite well with it, but we don't really want to be too direct. We want to play down the wings quite a lot. And that is why long ball's on, because obviously you can see on the little image down there the way it kind of sets up. So it's fullback, straight over the top into the winger or striker there, and it's created a great option already, and that is how it's going to play in game. That is what we're looking for in game, so that is why it's set up like that. Width is very high because of the wingers. We want to be high and wide in this formation, as your wingers are the most important players. Obviously, the wider you are, if you can beat the fullback, you're more than likely going to be able to get into the box with your striker waiting for you, and your striker is there to do a little tap in. As I've explained so many times, the byline is very, very overpowered on this FIFA. If you can get down to there, R1 exit into the box, you are living a dream, basically. So that is why the width is high. Players in the box is high for the same reason as I just explained with the width. Corners and free kicks, both on 2. Don't go above 2 or you'll get hit on the break from counters from corners very easily. We don't want that to happen. So that is why that's both on 2. Now, moving into the instructions. So as we move into the instructions, lads, it's very, very important, first of all, to try and have 5-star skillers out here. Specifically for one reason and one reason only. And that's for the ball roll scoop. It's very important when you're down the wing to be able to turn very quickly. The ball roll scoop gives you that in any angle you want it. So it's very important to have that there. And that's what we have with Ronaldo and Rashford. And starting off with them, they are both on stay forward, stay wide, and get into the box for cross. The reason they're on stay wide is because we've got our middle striker, or our striker, there for the tap in from the byline, and that's why they're on stay wide. So they can, they can stay out there, and where the fullbacks kind of stay in the team, they're never going to come inside. They're not on overlap, and they're not in inverted. They never generally go on inverted, though. They never really go into the middle of the pitch. So they're always there to play the passes to the wingers, which is why we've got them on stay wide. Stay forward as well is something that you don't often see in many formations. The reason they're on stay forward, you usually have them on this, come back on defence. Because the reason they're on stay forward is because of our midfield, which I'll show you in a moment. But we're allowed to play with these on stay forward due to the fact that our 2 centre mids are on stay back and cover centre. Now, obviously, I've got David Beckham. You're most likely going to want to have one of your 2 centre mids here to be good at advancing forward. And that's what we've got in Beckham. He can still defend okay. But obviously, in terms of our defender or our defensive midfielder here, we've got Fofana, who's going to be clearing up and mopping up defensively. With Beckham just there as the second man to kind of help out Fofana, which is okay. It works well. And that is why we've got that set up like that, with cover centre on them as well. Because obviously we've got the wide areas covered with our wingers and our fullbacks. In terms of the striker as well, we've got him on just stay central. We don't need him on comeback or stay forward. He's going to be in the right positions anyway. We want him to maybe sometimes drop a bit deeper than the wingers. So that is why we've decided to keep him on basic defensive support. And that is how we're going to set up with that. Moving on to our cam now, we've got him on just stay forward. If you don't have your cam on stay forward in any formation where it's just one cam, what will end up happening is they'll drop into really, really weird positions. Almost play as like a CDM or like an extra centre mid, and it just doesn't work and it's not very good. So it's very, very, very important that you have your cam in a one cam formation on stay forward. If not, you're going to get done, and it's going to be very, very silly the way they take up positions. This has been in FIFA for years. It's very, very broken. I don't know why EA haven't changed this, but they haven't. So make sure you have him on stay forward. What you could do is you could put him on stay forward, your striker, and put your 2 wingers on basic defensive support. Maybe give this a try. From what I've played with this formation, though, this works better. This setup that we've got here. You could also try getting behind on your strikers as well. What this will do as well, this will play even more into the kind of long ball thing that I explained earlier with the fullbacks and playing the balls over the top. When they are on getting behind, they are going to be constantly looking at getting at the back line and playing on the shoulder of the last defender, really. So you could try that as well. But I found it not to work too well. With in mind that we've already got long ball on, we don't really need to put them on getting behind. But yeah, lads, that's going to be it for this custom tactics video. If you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like on it, and you're subscribed to the channel if you're not already. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. You come over to my twitch.tv/Vipalization. We stream all of our champs games, and we went 16-1 last week. So come over there if you want to see a live, kind of help for you guys. That's a great place to go. To get kind of help live, and you can see how I play. That's a great place to be. Make sure you go over there and follow. But lads, that's going to be it from me for now, so take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.